Hey there, Tamir from Fibonaccis-Traders.com here with Sunday scan for the week of November 14th. So let's get started. We have 70 names on this list. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons. Thank you very much. CGC, double bottom scenario, 430 is the neckline. Bulls needs to break up and above, close 2 or 3 days above it, because if we look left, the 430 area is a major resistance for the bulls. Breaking up and above 550, in my opinion, will be next. This double bottom here, we have the bottom of June and July, also this one here, retesting the same area of 230 during October and November, and now going to the upside. Let's see 430. AMD also trying to recover. Nice recovery for now from the 54 bottom of October, now all the way to 74. Nice rebound. Next test for the bulls will be this downtrend line, and if we look left, this downtrend line helps us to identify the lower highs since November 21, also here December 21, and also here if we take a look, price just slide down from August through September, lower highs. So now by default this trend line will be a major test for the bulls. Breaking up and above 105 could be very much the next level that we will see on AMD. By the way, if you want to see an interesting video I made about the true support and resistance levels for price action, check the link that will pop just about here. Check it out. BA is next. We have identified this double bottom scenario several weeks ago and we followed it, and now finally breaking up and above this trend line here. Thursday break up and above, Friday retested it as an inside candle. Now let's see if this trend line, which helps us identify the long-term lower highs, as you can see since September 19, lower high, and all this here to the penny, lower highs, and now finally breaking up and above. If we take Fibonacci to help us to identify future support and resistance level for price action, we can see that the 185, 186 area is the next one. Looking left, support, resistance. So by default 185 will be next. Follow price and use the levels and trend lines to manage risk. Bank of America, BAC is next. Also another name we identified a double bottom several weeks ago. 37 breaking up above 39 is the next test for the bulls. We probably might see a retest of the 37 because price, if we look left, price likes to test every area of resistance and support. If it was resistance breaking up, it likes to test it as support before the next leg up. Also here, if we see this 37 breaking below, going back up, retesting it as a resistance before the next leg down. So make sure you follow the price and how it acts and reacts for the Fibonacci levels. CRSP, we are looking for a breakout and above this trend line. This trend line goes all the way back to July of 21. Also here, if you can see, throughout 2022 to the penny lower highs. And now let's see if bulls can finally validate sort of a double bottom scenario. But also, if it's not a double bottom, we have a higher lows. We have this low here, October and November. This is a higher low from May of 2022. So my alert is a break and a close above this trend line. Etsy, also another name, is very hot name. Let's see if Etsy can break above the 120. 120 is a major support and resistance for Etsy. So let's see if Etsy can break up and above. GE, General Electric, another name we identified few weeks ago, making double bottom scenario of the 60-62 area, now breaking up above the neckline, and if we can see, levels are holding as support and resistance, closing this gap here. Now we might see some kind of a pullback, maybe towards the 82-81 level before the next leg up towards the 92. So follow price and use levels to manage the risk. GM is another one, double bottom scenario. We have many double bottom scenarios on many names, which is a good thing because it means that many names, I check around 500 names during the weekend, and I can say many names having a double bottom scenario, which is good. It means that they don't make new lows. So now 42-43 level is the next area of resistance for the bulls, managing to break up above and closing above this 43 area at least 2 or 3 days. Then 49-50 area. Next one is HD, Home Depot, another name we identified at the 265 area, holding strong throughout June, then September, October, and we have a bull sentiment. Now 315 is acting as a resistance for price action because, again, always looking left. Why? Because we need to identify support and resistance level. So we look left and we see that the 315, 316 area is an important level of support and resistance since May of 2021. Also here, July 21, and throughout March, August, September, and now in November went all the way up 316. Let's see if bulls have enough stamina to break up above towards the 330. And again, we only use Fibonacci levels and trend lines to try to identify the next move on price action. Lululemon, another name that is making higher lows and higher highs since the low of May 2022, higher low July 22, and also here October 22, higher lows, higher highs. Let's see if bulls can reach this trend line here, higher highs on this trend line. This trend line will be a major test for the bulls. And if we take the lower highs, let's make it white. It broke up and above this trend line. So now the next one will be the yellow one. And if we take Fibonacci, that helps us to identify support and resistance to the price for the future. 377 to the upside and 400 is another important level to the upside to look at, because again, looking left, April 22, December 21, and throughout from July 21 to October 21, major resistance and support, the 404. Netflix, after earnings, big gap up, went all the way, closing the gap, because we know that more than 80% of all gaps are getting filled throughout time. So this gap got filled, and now all the way to the upside, 306 is the level that we need bulls to break up and above. Once they do it, this gap here at the 332 will get filled. Shopify, another name that we like to analyze, and we see that between the 40-42 area, bulls need to finally break up and above, because this area is a very important resistance area since May of 22, and now coming back, retesting this area, breaking up, we could see a bull run towards the 60 area. XBI, an ETF that we are following, and we are waiting for a break up and above and a closing above the 85 area. We are looking for a close. Why? Because we see that it broke up but failed to close above, so a close above the 85 area, at least 2 or 3 days. I don't mind to miss few points to the upside, but I want to make sure that this level is breaking up and above. Why? Because if I look left, I see that during July of 2022, this area was a tough one for price to break up and above. So I don't mind to miss another dollar or two, but to make sure, once it does, we will go in for long position. But this is only for educational purposes only, not an investing or trading recommendation of any sort. So please do your own due diligence. Apple 134 holding strong, now bouncing, closing this gap here. Let's see if bulls can push price all the way to the 160 area. 160 area, again, looking left, very strong resistance. So once bulls will reach, price action will reach this area, we expect that this 157, 160 area will be a tough one. Tesla, let's see how it does. How is Tesla doing? Breaking below this trend line here. This trend line goes all the way to December 2020, March of 21, May of 21, and now breaking below. But bulls are trying to get price back above this trend line. If they will succeed, we can take Fibonacci, swing low, swing high, and it will give us with high accuracy the high probability to the resistance areas to the upside. And we can take this trend line here, high of September to the high of October, and now we have all we need is to follow price. If it goes to the upside, we can say that with high probability this trend line on the 210 area will not be so easy for the bulls. And if you want to take your technical journey and to be a better trader without following any other traders or any other indicators and becoming your own indicator, check Fibonacci-Traders.com, check my Twitter, join our Discord. We have many plans, affordable plans. We have an in-depth premium mentorship course that you can take, and after it you will become your own indicator. IBB, an ETF that we are following, and we are looking for a break above this 135 area. We see a slightly higher highs. This trend line helps us to identify the higher highs, so long above this area. We take Fibonacci, swing low, swing high, and if price will get above this trend line, 141 and 150 are the next levels to the upside. TAN, another strong ETF that we are looking at, having these two bottoms during March and April of 2022, now making a higher low during October 22, and we have a trend line that helps us to identify the lower highs, and as you can see, to the penny, and now trying to break up and above the 81 area. And this is a great example why I'm looking for at least a 2 or 3 days close above a strong resistance area. This area of the 80-81 was a very significant area of support during July and September of 2022. Now, as you can see, it broke up above, but on Friday failed to hold above it and went back inside candle. This is why, as we talked on XBI, one candle does not make the difference. We need at least 2 or 3 candles to make sure that a resistance becomes a support. So if you enjoyed this video, I hope you find it helpful and educational. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons. Check the links in the description below. Have a great Sunday and I'll see you in the next video.